Hello Leo, and welcome to your in-depth monthly horoscope for October. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you the broad themes to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the key dates and influences particularly relevant to your sign. Now this is a month when Venus, the planet of relating in its rulership of Libra and of money in its rulership of Taurus, is going to be incredibly influential. And this is because it's going to be very close to the Sun all through the spine of October, but through two different zodiac signs. So for the first 3/4 of this month, there's a lot of energy and focus on your everyday interactions. This could be with people that you see regularly. It may be people you link with online. It may be that you're going to be sharing skills and knowledge you have, or it could be that if you're interested in the digital sphere, that's an area too that you can really start to sparkle. But Saturn, the planet of restriction, has been twisting backwards in your sector of relating, and that is going to be coming to an end on the 23rd of this month. So I can't wait to share about that. We also have a connection between Venus and the Sun on the solar eclipse, which occurs on the 25th in the sign of Scorpio. And this suggests that you may be changing where you live in some significant way over the next half year. This could be decoratively, it could be with the furnishings you have, or maybe it could be moving altogether. For some lions, there may even be a consideration of an addition to the family. So lots of really great stuff to share with you, so please stay with me. But if you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast, if you give me 3 pieces of your personal birth data of time, date and place, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life. Also, within my special package of 30% off, you can get your year 2023 forecast and the rest of this year free. Please see the link below for more. But this is totally unique to you and can give you searing insights to guide your moves future forwards. Finally, if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you already have, thank you so much for your ongoing support. So Leo, as we come into this new month, it is true that Mercury is in a retrograde, but it will be going direct on the 2nd. But as I mentioned in the introduction, it is caught up in that square between Mars and Neptune, which is going to dominate this month and next month too. So precision around your resources, any contractual discussions or the movement of money is critical in the first week of this month. But with Venus allied to the Sun pretty well through the spine of October, this does provide some real possibilities, particularly on the 22nd, when the Sun and Venus are exactly conjunct in the sign of Libra. If you're wanting to integrate yourself into your local community, get together with siblings, perhaps share ideas you have, or perhaps learn new skills, the grace and graciousness of Venus can be very important to the exchanges you have. People can be absolutely smitten, not just by what you have to say, but even the tone of your message. If you are a performer of any kind, whether it is through dance or music or articulating your ideas, you can come across in a really enchanted way throughout this month, but particularly through those first 3 weeks. So that's really exciting. Now on the 8th, Pluto ends its retrograde, which began on the 29th of April. This has been in the part of your horoscope to do with the everyday structure of your world, and Pluto's been there since 2008. I feel there's been a lot of responsibilities and obligations that have come your way since then, perhaps even some health challenges. But what Pluto's helped you to do is to sort out what is really important to you, to really create a greater sense of priorities. Now, of course, Pluto is going to be moving briefly next year into your sector of relating, where you have Saturn, and Saturn too is going to be going forwards this month on the 23rd. So if there have been some tensions around certain relationships, they could ease then, but I must stress that Saturn does retain its square within 3 degrees with Uranus, the planet of freedom. Obviously Saturn much more the planet of limitation. And from the 2nd of this month through to the 12th, they're within 1 minute of that exact square. So I think when it comes to professional relationships, there could still be some tensions, and that alliance between Venus and the Sun can help you to choose your words and your tactics with great care. But despite this, by the 19th, Venus and the Sun are in a square with Pluto, and despite your best efforts of diplomacy, there could be someone who still wants, or it may seem to you, wants more from you than they're prepared to contribute to a situation themselves. Now this could be on the domestic front, it could be a partner, it could be a flatmate, it could be someone you share a house with. And so it's important to remember that with Venus, yes, it can give us delicacy, it can be very enchanting and charming, but also it can be seen by some as being slightly superficial. So Pluto's energy could see you encounter someone who's not really interested in the fripperies and the presentation. They're just getting right to the politics of a situation. Just be prepared for that. However, on the 9th, the full moon is in the sign of Aries, which of course is your sister fire sign. The 9th house moon can make you a bit restless, but it can also give you an inquisitiveness about the truth of your situation. But the 9th house is also about travel, spontaneity and freedom. And on the other side of the heavens, the Sun, allied with Venus, is in that 3rd house of everyday conversation. I feel actually this can turn out to be a very positive full moon, and conversations that evolve over the following 2 weeks can actually really help to clear the air. And part of the reason for this is that on this particular event, Mars in your sector of friendship, the Sun and Venus in your sector of everyday exchanges, but very Gemini energy, and Saturn in your sector of relating, but a very Libran and Aquarius energy for you, the 7th house Libran, but in the sign of Aquarius, very much about the collective. Well, they're linking together these 3 air positions in a ground air trine. And I think that as the Sun also stays connected to Saturn for the following week, the discussions you have, despite someone maybe being a bit unreceptive initially to your overtures, can actually see you with patience and clarity and a little bit of logic, can see you actually really making progress in articulating how you feel. So if there is something that feels a bit stuck, particularly professionally, or you want to change something in your career and a partner or a family member feels that you should stay as you are, I feel you do have the astral tools here to actually deploy to help you to have constructive conversations. And this will be emphasized more on the 10th when Mercury moves into the sign of Libra. If this rings a bell, it's because Mercury was here from August the 26th to September the 23rd. And maybe some of the discussions that have gone on, possibly about financial issues, now you can get some greater clarity. It is true that from the 25th to the 29th, Mercury is challenged by Saturn. It could get a bit tense. Once again, you may be asked to really prioritize, but if there is something that you believe in with great conviction and someone is being very unhelpful or picky or critical, it's important that you do stand in your power. Now on the 12th, that square between Mars and Neptune does become exact, We get this next month, as I said before, and also in March next year. Essentially for you, Mars is in your sector of the future, but also friendships. It's also about your highest ideals. Neptune's in the part of your scope that's to do with longer term finances, but also what you share. But Neptune's a very dreamy, ephemeral and mystical energy in some ways. It is going to be propped up positively by Jupiter reversing back into Pisces on the 28th. Now that retrograde may sound daunting, but I just feel that if there has been some discussion about how you can expand your situation, once Jupiter moves back into Pisces, you can then work with the available resources you've got. Stay hopeful that you can make progress, and once Jupiter returns to the sign of Aries in the last 10 days of this year, I think everything will fall into place for you with a great deal more clarity. Now on the 23rd, Venus and the Sun together move into the sign of Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio is, you know, quite a powerful influence. It tends to see relationship issues in a very black and white way. But having the Sun here as well, I think this is where you're really going to be thinking about these home issues. So there could be some changes decoratively, physically in your home, new kitchen, new bathroom, moving all together, or there could be comings and goings around the home situation, but in a positive way. And as I mentioned, for some lucky lions, this could even be an addition to the family over the next 6 months, because on the 25th, the solar eclipse embraces the energy of Venus too. So some big transformations can come up for you over this next half year. Now the 29th sees Mercury move also into Scorpio, the third sign it's transited through this month. And this enables you to dive deep when it comes to thinking very carefully about those home and emotional issues, but it can be a bit more withdrawn, Mercury here, so you may feel less inclined to be as bubbly as earlier in the month. But I feel that this gives you an opportunity to just really explore what you really want. If you do work from home, I feel that this can be a very supportive influence. Now Mars on the 30th of the month does go retrograde through till the 12th of January next year. If you do find yourself going through some rethinking about your longer term future or aspirations, or even your friendship group during that period of time, don't be surprised, because remember, Neptune is providing a completely different energy which can slow down and distort in some ways the drive of Mars, but also the retrograde just means that if you're involved in any kind of collective, the politics of that situation is critical to whether your interest is going to wane or not over the next couple of months. So a month when you can use your communicational skills, your natural charisma to great effect, Leo, but I think some more tender and sensitive and emotional and family or home-based issues are going to come very much more to the fore as the month comes to a close.